How are you doing? This is Ms Chanelle here. And as the live started, I had a wardrobe malfunction. Oh my gosh. So, guys, welcome. This is a very last minute live. Not because it's a last minute topic, but I didn't really plan to go live today. I was just going to post the information and leave it at that. But then I decided, you know what, I'm still going to go live and still explain it to you all so that when you do see the post, you will understand exactly what I'm doing. So once more, let me introduce myself properly. I'm Ms Chanelle, language success coach, and I'm here to give you secrets. And today, what I'm going to give you that not so much, well, is it a secret? It's my secret actually. What I'm going to do for you is I'm going to give you a process of preparing for the exam. Now, this process is very, very general. Again, for CSEC English A, it's very, very general, and it also sort of assumes that you more than likely haven't done work in this particular paper. So if you think this is a bit too slow, you can always add more activities to the day. However, what I normally do is I recommend, and this is actually how I teach to learners. I normally give assignments based on a question in the paper. So I don't just give an entire paper. I say, hey, are we doing summaries today? Hey, are we doing argumentatives today? Hey, are we doing short story today? So the purpose is to focus like that, because most of you are going to be doing this focus alone. Now, if you can do the focus with someone who is going to give you feedback, especially feedback based on the exact CSEC rubric, then that would be absolutely good. I am not teaching classes for the exam this year, any crashing type of course. I would like crash courses for the subject. However, what I'm doing is those of you who are interested in getting feedback, I'm doing a feedback process. You could always message me on Facebook or Instagram, and I would get back to you if you are interested. If you are not or cannot do it, that's okay. This process is here for you to get better, more prepared for the exam. Please remember that a language exam is a skill-based exam. If you haven't practiced this skill, it's going to be harder for you. So the point of this is to give yourself 30 days ish to get ready for the exam. All right, so you can actually start today, but this is kind of geared to start from tomorrow, the 11th. My math hopefully is correct, and that's how it's going to go. So without further ado, I'm going to start. So the first 5 days are about covering summary and then getting okay with the informative question, right? So summary is section A, and then the informative is our section B. So on day one, you're going to do a summary, but two summary questions actually. But all you're going to do is find the main points. Of course, you need to find the purpose of the article as well, but all you're going to do is practice the main points. All right, so this year I'm actually recommending papers to work with. So I'd recommend the May-June 2017 paper and the Jan 2018 paper to work with in terms of the summary. All right, again, you could come up with your own papers, but this is just my recommendation. Okay, day two, summary again, and that same May-June 2017 and Jan 2018, you are going to do the actual summaries. So on day one, what you did was purpose and main points. I'm saying purpose because my learners would know that in order to get main points and write the summary, you need to know why the article exists. But day one, you write your main points. That's what you work on. You work on reading the article and writing your main points. Let me make that one clear. Reading and understanding the article to write the main points. And then day two, you're doing your summaries. Yeah? Beautiful. Day three and day four, we're going to repeat that same process, where day three is all about the main points for two questions, and day four is about doing the actual summary. On those days, you're going to work with the May-June 2018 paper, and you're going to work with the Jan 2019 paper. So May-June 2018 and Jan 2019, those are your friends for those 2 days. Good. So we're at day four. Now we're going to day five. Day five, we're going to switch it to section B, the informative section. What I want you to do on day five is just learn formats. The four formats are letter, email, notice, and report. right? Don't forget, you do need to know the format and the concept of the format. This is 3 marks. So you're spending this day getting this know-how down, doing this research that you may need to do, going back to your notes, collecting the information, in order, okay, in order to ensure that your confidence is in place for that particular section. Great, wonderful. So we're now going to days 6 to 10. And day 6 to 10, you're just going to work on informative questions. That's what we're going to do on days 6 to 10. So here's what happens, and here I'm going to have to assist you a little bit. So I'll tell you what the assistance will be at the end, all right? But on day 8, you want to, sorry, not my bad, not on day 8, on day 6, you're going to work on a letter question, all right? I'm not going to give you a year at all for this. I'll let you know what I would recommend after, all right? So day 6, letter for the informative section. Day 7, you're going to work on one email question. Again, if one is too little, hey, max it up, do 2. Day 8, you're going to work on a notice question. Again, notices, you're not seeing it, but hey, this could be your year to gain 30 marks off of a handful of lines. You never know. CXE could be generous this year. Day 9, report questions. You're going to practice that. So again, I have said for day 6, 7, 8, and 9, do 1 question. All right. Now, if it is you've practiced enough and you're confident that you want to try, or you do have the time, all right. This is created being, sorry, I'm too excited. I created this with the understanding that most of you guys are also in school and doing other subjects, or if you're writing privately, you may be working on questions privately, or basically you got work, maybe kids, life, right? So it's supposed to just take up a bit of your time. So again, if you look at days 6 to 9 and you're like, yo, that's too little for me, I can do more, no problem. I support you. You're awesome. Okay. Day 10, we are still on informative. And you're probably saying, why are we still on informative? Because you get a really good bit of marks. It's 30 marks. It's the question with the most marks in that paper. And if you can really master the concept of situations in this paper, I mean, you're making that paper to a lot easier for you, right? So day 10, what we're going to do is 1 letter and 1 email. All right. So for that day, I'm recommending day 10, Jan 2019 for the email, because an email came that year. I'll let you know what we can do for the letter. Okay. Again, I'll come back to that. So after that, it's days 11 to 15, right? And day 11, we're in summary. Now some of you are like, oh my gosh. Sorry, day 11 were informative. So some of you are like, wait, what about the short story? What about the argumentative? We are going to do this days 11 to 15. So don't worry, you're here. All right. So day 11, informative, and you're going to do 1 notice and 1 report. 1 notice, 1 report. So I'll have an option for you for the notice. For the report, it's going to be May, June 2018. That's my recommendation. May, June 2018. By the way, if you're trying to write this down, I may timestamp this by tomorrow. And secondly, I'm actually going to post infographics with some of this here on YouTube, as well as on my IG account and Facebook. So you can go like those, follow those, and you're going to see it come up, okay? Right, so day 12. What are we doing on day 12? Summary. Yes, we are going back to summary. You haven't done summary since, what was it? Day 4? We need to go back to summary. Why do you need to go back to summary? Because you probably suck at it. I'm not trying to offend you. I'm just being realistic. No one likes summary. I don't like summary. I don't like summary. I don't like how it comes for the exam. This is not a summary rant, but I'll let you know. I support you. I empathize with you. I'm with you. However, I'm also here to make sure you are in a more confident state and better prepared to pass. So, day 12, summary. do 2 entire summaries. This means you do the entire question. You figure out the purpose after you've read and understood the article. Okay? After you've read and understood the article, you go figure out the purpose, you create your 5 main points, and then you write your summary. So you have to do that for 2 questions, okay? That there's a recommended time to do all of that. You follow it, okay? I think it's 40 minutes. 40 minutes for summaries. All right, so what I recommend in terms of papers for that day, it's the May, June 2018 and the January 2020. That's what I recommend for that particular question. All right. Did I recommend that? That looks like you shouldn't recommend it. Oh no. May, June 2019. I'm so sorry. I knew I had jumped a little bit. Yes. So for day 12, the summaries, it's May, June 2019 and January 2020. Okay. Then on day 13, lucky 13, short story. Right. So I would like you to do 2 short stories because you haven't done any short stories as yet. I'm assuming if you're just strictly following this and if you have secretly not done any work for the last year, except during end of term with these questions, you know what happens. You guys know what happens, right? So if that's the case, do 2 complete short stories. Those are 45 minutes recommended time. And I recommend May, June 2019 and the Jan 2020 papers for your short stories, okay? So again, if you're a little lost, what I'm suggesting is that you focus on a specific question per day, especially if you've got multiple subjects to study for. Now, this may not work for you. If it doesn't work for you, that's quite fine. I'm just putting it out there in case someone needs some focus, especially those of you guys who have not, you can't remember what the English textbook looks like. You not entirely sure what the actual past paper looks like. This is for you guys because you need to practice. A language is a skill. Skills require practice. All right. So we move beyond day 13. Like I said, we're going to do argumentative. So that's day 14 and day 15. Now day 14, I'm going to do this in parts like we did for summary at the beginning. So on day 14 and day 15, you're going to look at the same paper. I'm recommended May, June 2019. What I want you to do on day 14 is do your brainstorming and your planning, your pros and cons. Get your thesis statement. Make it look good. Make sure it's awesome. And write your introduction. And you're doing that for 1 question. Like I said, I just recommended 1 paper. So that's day 14. You're brainstorming, you're thinking, because you're supposed to think before every question. Determining your pros and cons, determining what side you're taking. Your thesis statement should be written out and clear, specific, and then you write your introduction, which should include your thesis statement. When you go to day 15, you're going to then complete the rest of the essay. So that means you've already done your introduction, which should be brief because you only have 250 to 300 words. How much are you going to write for your introduction? Not a lot, right? So you've already done your introduction on day 14. You've already done the quote-unquote hard work on day 14. Quite frankly, the heavy lifting is on day 14 if you know how to do this properly. Day 15, sorry, heavy work on day 14. I'm excited, guys. Actually, no, I'm not excited. I'm really hungry. I'm thinking about food. But on day 15, what you're going to do is complete your argument. So that's the 3 body paragraphs. Each paragraph should have 1 argument that you're going to discuss to prove your point, your opinion, your thesis. And then you're going to also write your conclusion. All right. So essentially on day 14, you're writing 1 paragraph. On day 15, you're writing the other 4 paragraphs that you need for your argumentative. All right. So we're almost down to the wire. We're halfway through. And we're going to days 16 to 20. Days 16 to 20 now. Day 16 and 17, we will still be in argumentative mode. And we're going to do the same things that we did on day 14 and day 15. This time you're going to look at the Jan 2020 paper. Again, my recommendation. You can switch if you want. That's just my recommendation. And what you're going to do is day 16, do your planning, your pros and cons, your thinking, you write your thesis, you write your introduction. Day 17, you write your 3 arguments, a paragraph per argument or per point, and you finish it up with your very awesome, lovely conclusion, which has no new information. And let me just insert this because one of my learners did this week. Don't give me quotes in your argumentative essays. I'm saying me, like if you're gonna write it to me, but I'm telling you, don't put quotes. They want your words, your opinion. You don't need to quote anyone else. It's all about you. Okay? Day 18. Short story, guys. This time, 2 short stories again. And I would recommend Jan 2021 and the May June 2021 paper for, was Man in the Hole 2021? Horrible picture. Man in the Hole, if you know Man in the Hole. Right, so for on day 18, Jan 2021, May, June 2021, those are my recommendations for you to complete. Day 19, summary. We can't leave summary alone. This is where you guys need practice to get your marks, right? So summary, I want you to do 2 summaries. I'm recommending Jan 2021 and May, June 2021 on day 19. And day 20, I'm going to recommend you do informative. And here we're going back to doing one of each format type. So 1 letter, 1 email on day 20. And again, I'll let you know what alternative for our letter will be. For email, I'm going to recommend May, June 2021 because an email did come in that particular year. All right. Then we're now on to days 21 to 25. Almost to the end, almost to exam day, right? Days 21 to 25. Day 21, we're continuing with informative, and you're going to do the notice and a report. So 1 notice, 1 report. I'm recommending Jan 2020. That's our last known notice. Are you guys going to be really lucky enough to get a notice? I would be so glad if you guys got a notice. Oh my gosh. But notices can be tricky, so don't think you don't know, you don't need to know how to plan it, because you have to understand notices are really brief and to the point, basic information. All right, so you're going to do 1 notice, 1 report, Jan 2020 and Jan 2021. Day 22 and day 23, we're going back to argumentatives, and you're just going to do 1 question on day 22. Day 23, you're going to do another question again. If you think you can do more in terms of your schedule, in terms of your energy, go ahead and do it. This is my basic recommendation. And for day 22, May, June 2021, and day 23, Jan 2021, that's what I would recommend. Hey, Joshua. Thank you. All right. Then from day 24, we are just, we're getting into it. What do I mean by getting into it? Past papers. All right. So again, this has been created for those of you who have not even touched a paper. You don't know what the papers look like, or worse yet, you've collected the papers and they're somewhere on your phone. You know it's there, and you feel comfort from the fact that the papers are there. But have you opened the papers to actually do the questions? You have not. Yeah, good. So day 24, you're going to do an entire past paper, top to bottom, all 4 sections, and I recommend Jan 2024. Go live large. Do Jan 2024. That's the paper that came this year. See what it was like. Day 25, again, same thing. I recommend May, June 2023. On day 26, listen, I'm not going to change it, just past papers. Day 26, I recommend Jan 2023. On day 27, I recommend you do May, June 2022. And on day 28, I recommend Jan 2022. Now, some of you may be like, oh, miss, I've done those papers already. I did that for like mock exams. Yo, I did that already for end of term. I don't need to do those papers again. Did you get top marks in that? When you did those papers, did you come out with a percentage higher than 80? In fact, even if you got a percentage higher than, let's say, 80%, Don't you want to, if you're already in the 80 percentile, don't you want to be in the 90s? So yeah, redo them. Again, language is all about skill. Language is a skill. Skills improve with practice. And that's what you need to do. So I recommend you do them. Or if you have alternatives, do an alternative. I don't mind. The point is, I want you to do a paper. And telling yourself, oh, I did that in school, I don't need to do it again, and you haven't even hit 80%, please don't kid yourself. Go ahead and do it again. Yeah, I recommend that. All right, so day 29 is kind of like a free day, quote unquote free day, where I recommend you just do a paper, but you choose. I left it up to you. You can either go do a new paper, or you could go back and look at your responses, right? Because the way I did this, day 29 is the day before the exam, and day 30 is your exam day. And on day 30, you're going to actually do the May June 2024. So you're going to work on day 30, right? You're still going to work, all right? So listen, this is for you to take this and make it work. Like I said, if it is you need, you, oh, sorry, not if you need, if you're lacking solid, reliable feedback and you think you'd want me to do that for you, that is possible. You can message me on Instagram or on Facebook. Understand that it is a cost. What I've just given you here is not at a cost, totally free. All right, and it is the freemium content that is for you to help you be prepared. And listen, this is what I would give my learners. Exactly. Solo sessions, one-on-one, but we are already right. I'm actually going to send this to them for self-study, because I would give them work that we're going to deal with, but this is actually great self-study material, right? You don't need someone to hold your hand. What you need is direction and focus. All right. So I'm going to tell you what I would do for you, because you see those informative questions. If you don't know, those are fairly new. There was an absolutely interesting individual in a group chat who was insistent that he didn't, or he or she didn't need to get any papers after 2018 for this exam. That's inaccurate, because the only question that changed is the section B question. You can actually use some of the older questions for practice. They're actually not bad. Summary, I have issues with summary. That's a whole lot of video by itself. So what I'm going to do for you is I am actually going to upload eventually under this video. I'm going to upload my own sample questions that I give learners. All right, so that's my treat to you. I'm going to upload my questions. Let me just have issue a disclaimer. I came up with those questions when CXC first started informative, and the earlier informatives were kind of interesting. You probably know what I'm talking about. So they're good. They're good to work with. I am actually going to probably update them again. All right. However, I will by tomorrow update it on this video so you guys can download it and have it for your own. I also have a free course online. Well, I'm saying a free course. It is free, freemium content, guys. It's not really a course, but what it is a series of videos, kind of like a walkthrough of each paper and explaining what to look out for each question in each paper. And it's there really not to give you the answer, because this is a language exam. This is not mathematics. 1 plus 1 does not equal 2. Yeah, to a certain degree it does, because you can't give me a summary on cell phones and then tell me, Miss, this is really about how to use laptops. Okay, comprehension is comprehension. Comprehension is logic. Logic is mathematical. That's where they're friends, and that's their overlap in those subjects. But there really isn't an answer, right? I have marked short stories from students, and they've gotten like the same range, but they're story idea in response to the same stimulus or the same prompt, totally different. And they would get similar marks. All right, so that's what I mean by the fact that there is no answer. All right, so guys, without further ado, this is the end of this live. I am going to eat because today is Eid and I am hungry. And I hope that this is helpful to you. If you have any comments or considerations, of course, please put them down below, comment below, and don't forget that all the information I spoke about, all those links, they will be updated in the timestamps within the next 24 hours, actual 24 hours. Okay, so guys, have a wonderful day, and as always, I'm sending you love and success